Alrighty, welcome back. We are going to do some more work on this thing. I have got myself a GoPro, so as you can see, your view is completely different. No more sticking phones in my shirt pocket. I put a couple of details on. Turns out my camera wasn't angled properly and missed just about everything important. So, you missed it. Again, we're going to start on our next segment of things to do. See if I can't get more than one piece done in 10 minutes. Don't want to go overtime. However, it does not look like that will be happening. So what goes there? What could that possibly be? Just a random 2 slots. No? Does one? Okay. Alright. We're going to start with the fin. Most notable progress. I should probably point out what I did off camera. In case you were curious and you're actually interested. Put a little tiny detail in that. Where's my pointer? Put that tiny little detail in. Put that tiny little nub in. Put that tiny little thing in. And this right here. Other than that, nothing different. Looks like my turret stayed pretty well. Spotlight right here is a little bit cockeyed and tilted. But other than that, not bad. These tiny details aren't exactly straight anymore. Although I guess I can't really say anymore because that was like 5 seconds ago, so never really were. But we are going to move on. Parts 84 and 107. Yep. Grab this guy. Grab that guy. And there are 2 ways I can do it. I can either glue it on outside of it, but every time I've tried, that has failed horrendously. So we're going to go with option 2, which is to just glue the 2 little fins on and then put the flap in there. So, grab piece 1 with my plier, tweezer things. I just spilled glue all over the floor. Stuff's expensive, man. Pop that there, pop that there. Is the right spot supposed to be in there? Alright, hallucinating. Alright, piece 1 is in. I am a magician. All shall fear my power. Go. Grab piece 2. Get all the way down here. Otherwise it has a hard time actually getting in that. And dollop of glue, dollop of glue. Oh my golly, these pins look like they line up. The last set did not line up. Both of these little fin things line up so beautifully. I love it. I love it almost as much as I love my drinks. I don't love much drinks, but I do love Mountain Dew. Can't go wrong with that, and I don't care what people say. I don't mind if I get kidney stones. Although I've never actually had one, so that might change. That's really my opinion, I'm sure. But until I do get kidney stones, I will just continue to drink my Mountain Dew. And even if I do get kidney stones, I'll probably continue to drink Mountain Dew. Why? Because I don't actually care. It tastes good. It makes me feel happy. Oh, warm and fuzzy inside. The good old elixir. Oop, I almost cut the wrong piece off. I just realized you guys probably can't actually see that. Knock that off. Slice that off. I had a cap, there it is. Now what we're gonna do is, before I waste any more glue, I guess, I'm gonna grab this sucker and just stick right there. Stick this end, actually. Hey, both of them we can use this glue. We'll just load it up right there. Cap this off before it spills anymore. Slide it all the way down until it pops out, which is not supposed to happen. Of course, the one time they all line up so beautifully is the one time it turns out being lined up properly. It's just too dang wide. So we just slip that in there until that fits. I don't know, that got popped out somehow. Is that going to be a part of the problem? Who can say? It's in there. I'm happy. Good enough for giving work, so it's good enough for me. Okay, now, I wonder if I can suddenly change this. Oh no, has it stopped filming? Are you still recording? Yep, it's still recording. Awesome. Let's see, if I hit that, can't change over midway. No, nope, I'm just stuck with it. Alright, you guys are stuck with having watched this in real time. Bummer. Okay, we're gonna go find piece 106. It's 101. 106 right here. Just want to go a little more square. And it's got fancy details on the back of it. Grab our glue. And we'll actually just glue it inside the ship. That way, no matter what, the glue will actually line up properly. Cap this off. And boom. Check over here. Yep. It almost looks beautiful. Almost. But it is still just a blank empty hole. So we're going to push a bit further. And let's see. Here's 64. We'll find piece 64. Come out. There we are. What is this? That is a random bit of detail, looks like. Supposed to be there. It goes right there. It looks like it actually just attaches to the side, which means I should be able to put that in without interference. We're going to do that, and this time, instead of having to use the glue, we still have a little dollop right there. It'll work just fine and dandy for me. Oh, I dropped it. Boom. Another random detail put on. Someday I will find out why these random details exist. Because, I mean, you know, it's cool and all, I guess, but, like, man, I cannot imagine how difficult it must have been to carve out each and every tiny little thing. This is too old to be 3D printed. I mean, like, seriously. I don't know when it was made, but, like, the box was half rotted. So, we know it's old. Or just, well, very well kept. Alrighty. K65 goes on to part 12. And that'll probably be where I cap it off for the day. Just because I'm sure it would get very boring. There we go. Part 65. Right here. Huh. What do you know? Right there next to 64. And 66. Okay, part 12. That's 11, that's 10. That's 16. I don't understand how that is. Hey, there we go. Part 12. So we got reading 11, 10, that's 8. Let's go pop that up, pop it back down, twist off, spinaroo. There we go. Now, somewhere 5 is supposed to just stick. What on earth? You mean tell me you can have just added that onto it while you're cutting and making and all that stuff? Keep all this stuff up and all that, like so. Just dropping stuff. Here's an idea, keep my hands up on the work spot, and when I do drop something, it doesn't land on the floor. Wow. That's called big brain moves right there. I'm gonna start doing something a bit differently instead of just sitting here prattling on and on and on for 3.5 hours. Got nothing at all and getting all of 2 things done. I might try to find some way to make this a little more interesting to watch. But none of this has been planned at all. I mean, I've just been straight up winging every little detail about this. So there has been absolutely zero deliberation how to do what, when, where. Oh shoot! I done messed up. Fun fact, pay attention to the directions and it like actually tells you what you're doing. So this random detail is actually supposed to go like that. What does that accomplish in life? Not entirely certain. But it does that. Look at that. If I can get it on. Boom. Makes a little canopy thing. Alrighty, so what we're going to do instead, since the main point of contact area will be this, apparently, why is this one so running right now? Like, seriously, man, that is unbelievably running. I don't even got to squeeze the tube, it just runs right out. Alright, see, it makes a little tiny canopy now. Very shady, I guess. Not that kind of shady though. Wrong shady. There we go. We're about halfway done with this side. Got a little bit more to do right in here. And then we will be done. And we can move on to the fronts and the backs. So, that is the end of this one. Good day.